Business in the boardroom.
Today, I'm not talking about recruitment. We're talking about confidence, social media, body positivity, and turning something you love into a career. Now, I'm very lucky because this slag is one of my really, really good friends. Holly, I actually don't know how to say your surname, Ramakis.
You did it.
Oh, well done me. Well done me.
Yeah.
You might know her as the body
Tongue twister.
the body positive mum on Instagram. Thanks for coming on, Holly.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome.
Tate. I just needed to get out of the house, and I thought, what better way to get out of the house to do a podcast?
To do a podcast for us. It
Yeah.
was a favour, very last minute.
Absolutely. They didn't really want me, but I thought, do you know what? I'm going to show up anyway.
Who doesn't want you? Right, so God, the list is endless. Photographer, content creator, mum of 3 boys, the woman who single-handedly convinced me that I had a great bum.
Oh, you do.
And how many people do you broadcast to? Over 350,000 followers.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good, Hole.
Yeah. I'm
pretty
happy
good.
with that.
So, warm-up question. What's your daily gripe? What pisses you off?
Lateness. Now, let me tell you, Tate was 15 minutes late for this podcast.
I mean, if you know me, you know me.
Honestly, I can't stand lateness. I'd rather be somewhere 20 minutes early than 1 minute late. Get real bad anxiety for being late. And I've always had that drummed into me at such a young age. So, yeah, lateness is...
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay, but I will never forgive you.
She messaged me and then she was like, I hate waiting. Where are you? What's
Yeah,
going on?
Honestly.
She was in her car.
I was in my car, doing social media. But yeah, it's probably up there as my biggest bugbear is lateness. So if you do go on a date with me, take me out and do not be late.
Pick you up 15 minutes early.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Although I won't be ready.
You will. So
Yeah.
we're going to Seville in 23 days. And she was like, right. So me and Jen are both not confirmed myself, but definitely ADHD. Both Aries. Both whirlwinds. So she's making us stay at her house the night before.
Yeah, I don't trust them. So yeah, basically I was like, if they stay at my house, I know that they're going to be there and be ready. Again, waiting for you to get in a taxi to get to mine, it's just not the one.
No,
so
it's
yeah,
not.
but I think it's a great quality to have is being punctual. I feel like
I agree.
You know, a lot of people are not anymore. They just again, I am quite a free spirit, but not so much with the lateness.
With your time.
Yeah.
I agree. It's respectable. I love that. So I want to talk, sort of go way back. I first knew you, although you didn't know me. I first knew you when you were a salesperson at Phones for You.
Wow, yeah.
Can you do the...
I can phones. Oh, can I phones? For
Oh, I feel like you
don't
wouldn't
think
have
I
passed the
can
job
do it.
interview for that.
no, sorry.
A long
but,
time has passed.
You know, I did. Do you know what? I love that job, and it taught me so much. It was hardcore sales, but
It was old school sales, wasn't it?
Old school, but it gave me a lot of confidence,
Yeah.
and I was really good at that job. You know, we were out street fighting. We were basically showing people cash, being like, "Yeah, come in, get a phone."
You remember Callum?
Yes.
He must have bought me, and Stuart, they must have bought me out of about 5 contracts so I could have some money, cash,
Yeah, we
for the
did
night
that.
out.
We did that a lot.
And then I think at one point I had about 16 contracts of O2.
Yeah. But you know, it was so different back then. We had chairs thrown at us. If we didn't meet targets, you would not be able to get away with that nowadays. You know, HR would have been extremely busy.
Yeah.
But it was and if we didn't make a certain amount of appointments for the next day, we'd have to stay till 9 p.m. at night. Wouldn't get paid for it. It was really hard, but it did teach me a lot of lessons, and I grafted.
How
and
to
I worked.
graft.
Yeah, how to, but also be hungry for it. You know, and I was so hungry. I am a competitive person, so I wanted to be the best salesperson.
Yeah.
I wanted to hit those figures. I wanted to actually exceed it.
But also, how old was Sunny when you were there?
So I fell pregnant with Sunny when I was there.
Did you?
So yeah, I started Phones for You when I was...
You were young then.
Yeah, I was about 17 when I started Phones for You, and then I fell pregnant at 20 when I had Sunny, and 21 when I actually gave birth to him. So yeah, I was very young. A young mum.
Yeah. And that makes you want to graft, doesn't it? Especially if you've had a snip of it before.
Yeah, 100%. Like, you know, when you're 17, 18, taking, you know, I'm going back a long time now, taking like $2,000 home a month. Like back then, that was a lot of money.
Yeah.
And then to then be pregnant and, you know.
On mat leave.
Yeah. Oh, ouch.
Ouch.
Yeah.
So then I'm fast forwarding this because I want to mainly focus on what you're doing now. And we've only got half an hour and we're 7 minutes deep. So from Phones for You, did you go straight to Liberty?
It's actually a really lovely story, and I'll be really quick with it.
Okay.
So Phones For You went into liquidation. And I was actually petrified, like, what do I do? I was like, oh, I'll just go to Car Phone Warehouse. That's the easiest thing. But before Phones For You went into liquidation, Jen asked me to do sales for her, to sell her photography. So basically...
Oh, so she'd already started Liberty
yeah,
at this point.
so she...
Dimples and Daisies.
So I was going to people's houses and showing them their photos and selling to them. And I did quite well. Like, the first few... I did about 3 sales, and they all bought all the packages and everything. It was great. But I remember saying to Jen, could you offer me a full-time job? And she was like, absolutely not. I don't know whether I could even give you £200 a month. I was like, okay. And then I went for a Chinese, and I opened up a fortune cookie, and it said, your lucky flower is a daisy. The business that Jen's was Dimples and Daisies. And I just phoned her up and said, Jen, I don't care what you can offer me. Let's just do it. And within the first month, we quadrupled sales. And then it got from like a few thousand to 5,000 to 10,000 to 20,000. And it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And it was purely that sign. And I'm such a believer in size, because I could still be at Car Phone Warehouse now, you know?
Yeah, fuck that.
Fuck that. No, thank you.
And I think it started as, I mean, family photography, wasn't it, really,
Yeah.
Dimples?
Yeah.
Dimples and Daisies. It grew like, it was like a Pompey household name.
Mm-hmm.
You would take your kids there for photos. Gone are the Olan Mills days.
Yeah.
But then Dimples took over for that really natural lavender,
Yeah,
the
just not
daisies.
stage photography. It just felt
Yeah.
like it was like a really natural environment, kids feeling free and nothing posed. And I think people really loved that. They just wanted to capture their child in a moment. And, you know, Jen is such a talent. She's like, still to this day, I look at her work and I'm so in awe of it. And I remember thinking, oh, I wish I could be a little bit like Jen. And, you know, I picked up a camera, started taking photos of my kids every day. And at this point, I was just selling photos.
Yeah,
I wasn't
right.
taking photos
You weren't
at all.
photographing.
No, I'd never picked up a camera in my life.
Was that when your Instagram was Tales of Boys?
I don't think I even created Tales of Boys at that point, so it was very early days. So basically, I then bought a camera and started taking photos, and then my Instagram became Tales of Boys, and it was predominantly just taking. This is back when social Insta was just photos, taking photos of the kids, and then I was really lucky for small brands to reach out to me, saying, "Can we send you some clothes for the kids?" And then it got to M&S, River Island, and I was like, "Wow, this is amazing," and then. The kids were like, Mum, this is not fun. I don't want to do this. And I was
Like, what do you mean?
And at that point, I was on about 20,000 followers. And I was like, I don't really want to lose that. I really enjoy it, but I also really had to respect the children. So then I started, like, I posted a photo of myself, and it did all right.
I remember this conversation. So we had just come off the back of lockdown. Because in lockdown, you girls did Liberty Lounge. And I remember when I first properly met you, right, I was a hairdresser. Jen had invited me to Liberty Lounge launch, which was the Feb before lockdown. And I saw Jen and I was like, I think I'd done hair for you guys on a shoot maybe 2 weeks before at the Kings. And it was that boudoir shoot or burlesque shoot, whatever it was. And I'll be honest, before I saw that, I used to look at all of these shoots and be like, and you'd hear the stories of these women and they'd say, oh, I never used to be confident. And then I went and saw Liberty and I thought, oh, bollocks.
Yeah.
That is the biggest load of shit I've ever heard. I went on that shoot, really, for clout for me, because I think I'd just gone self-employed and I thought, I need to up my game. Who do I know that's got a good social media following? Liberty. So I didn't know you, really. I don't think I knew you at all then. Only from Phones For You, like the scary blonde girl that used to be like, do you want a contract? No, I'm all right, thanks. I'll go speak to Stu. But I didn't know you very well. And I said to Jen, I need to be part of this, because what I saw that day was incredible. You girls did something to these women. I did these women's hair before they got in their underwear. And then they wore these incredible, beautiful underwear, and they were on the stage in the King's Theatre.
Yeah.
And the photos you girls took, you were flying around the stage, the words of affirmation. And I just thought, I need to be part of this right now. And then Liberty Lounge was launched. I went to the opening and I remember I said to Jen, I need to be part of this. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know whether I teach people how to do their hair. I don't know. And she said, go and speak to Holly. So I came over to you and I was like, I need to be part of it. You were like, right, the packages are. I was like, no, I don't want to pay. I don't want to pay.
Straight in there.
I want to be a collaborator. And you were like, oh, okay. And then the beauty unfolded. Then we went into lockdown. And actually, I think that's where the real magic happened.
Yeah.
That's when Liberty Lounge community was created, I think. you did some amazing online workshops for social media and body confidence. And then we did shoots. I did my first Liberty shoot on the beach.
Yeah.
And it was like you had to be however many metres away. And I remember Holly being like, oh my God, Tate, your bum looks amazing. I was like, really? The only person that's ever told me that is Mike. And he's obviously going to say that. And then it just grew. And then I became friends with you girls. And it's just the best thing that's ever happened. And I think you were with Liberty. What you then did from Dimples to Liberty, you obviously found your love for photographing women then.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
And I think for me, it wasn't just so much about photograph, it was helping them. Like, I am quite a sexual being, and I've been really like fortunate, like whatever size I've been, from a size 16 to a size 10, I've been so fortunate that I've always been quite confident in myself. And I wanted women to realise that it's not about the size you are, it's about that feeling inside. And most people think that you are born with confidence or you're not. You're a confident person or you're not, but you have to train yourself to be confident. And for me, being able to give those words of affirmation to women, say like, oh my goodness, you look unbelievable. They haven't heard that in a long time. They feel invisible. And I think the photography side, that obviously brought my page to light, because I definitely wouldn't have done what I'm doing now if I wasn't doing Liberty photography, because it's honestly changed who I am as a person. But I was like, once I did that photography, I felt like I just needed to do more. And as much as my page is just showing my body off and my saggy tummy, I just knew that I had to show it more to make people realise that this is so normal. We are so fixated on what our body should look like, how we should dress, how we should style, and actually I think it's so beautiful to stand there and go, this is my body and I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm okay with having a saggy tummy, but actually I know how to dress and I know how to feel bloody good in myself. And I think if I can encourage women to feel a little bit more confident. I'm dyslexic and I've always really struggled like believing in myself, and I always thought I could never have my own business, I could never do that. But there did come a point where I was maybe a little bit resentful, maybe thinking I want a little bit of like a business of my own. And I think I fell into social media and created my own business.
Whirlwinded,
and now I've got somebody working for me. I've got an agent that gets me on my work, and I just thought, wow, I've created that, and it's something to be so proud of. And don't get me wrong, I have worked my arse off, and so many people think it's just given to you with social media.
Yeah.
But I was doing a full-time job, doing this part-time. It was literally non-stop. My days off, I'd work non-stop. I'd make the videos, I'll edit, and then the biggest part is building a community, is interacting and commenting and liking, and it doesn't just stop after you post.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is hard, but I also am living a life that is freedom.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's so
For
beautiful.
time,
Yeah.
financial as well.
Yeah.
You know, so that was my next pointer. So what do you know what really pisses me off, is when, like it's aspirations day, or what do you want to be when you're older day at school, and they go, they can't come as a TikToker and they can't come as a YouTuber. And I'm like, why? Wow, because that's not a real job. They're more likely to succeed in that than a fucking footballer.
Yeah.
And I think I've been with you, like, you're very good though, Hol. When we're out, you're very present. You're not, your head isn't in your phone all the time, which I know probably then equates to, I know you love an early night, but that probably then means that you're on your phone in bed editing and doing stuff like that. But when I used to do your hair and you used to come in, we'd catch up and then you'd be like, I'm just going to take zone out. And you would be grafting the whole time on your phone, replying to DMs, replying to brand deals, negotiating brand deals. And I think if one thing I know from you, apart from anyone else, is the content has to be continuous. It has to be all the time. The creation, you schedule it all. But I think if it's constant and it's graft, and you've got to have a good work ethic.
Yeah, and I think people, they try social media and then be like, no, I can't, I'm not going to do it, because they think it's going to happen straight away. And if you think, like, I've been doing it for a long time now, and it was only last year really that it blew up big. I gained like over 200,000 followers in a year, and it just takes that one moment for you to blow up. But also, on the flip side, you can also not be current anymore. And I think that is the worry. And I think, yes, social media is a fantastic job and it gives you great opportunities, but there is that massive worry over you of thinking, is it my last day?
We had a conversation the other day, didn't we?
Yeah, it is very scary. So I think if you are thinking of it going to be your full-time job, really do think about it, because it's definitely not the most stable. it's definitely not the most stable job. You know, as I said, I'm fortunate I've got an agent that gets me work, but would I be here now if I didn't have an agent? I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure, but I really, really love it. And I think I'm such a creative through and through. I think for me, I'm like constantly thinking of new ideas. I could go into a business and give them 9,000 ideas. It's something that I really love.
Yeah.
I'm such a daydreamer, and I feel like I can create loads of things for people. I think maybe that would be my next career, is actually creating content for other people.
Content coach.
Yeah, like as in, go into a business and giving them ideas, because I really do love doing that.
Yeah, and you're good at it
Yeah,
as well.
I just went to the dentist, got my teeth done, and I was like, you should do this and you should do that, and they were loving it. So maybe I'll go down that. But I also, like yourself, want to go down more on the presenting side of things. And I think I want to keep growing. I don't want to stay still. And I think it's quite easy with any job that we do. It's easy to stay still, but I think it's always so good for yourself to better yourself and be like, right, what course can I do next? What can I learn next? Because we're never the best that we can be. We just got to continue learning, don't we?
Absolutely. And I think as well, like you were saying, I had somewhere in my notes, I've actually just disregarded my notes, I don't really need them, but I had in my notes, if this is so I don't derail myself when we talk about Seville, I had in there that you've spoke loads about, people probably do think you're the most confident person in the world, but I know you spoke loads about, from when you were growing up, people used to say, she's really thick.
Yeah.
She's so thick.
That's my biggest insecurity.
Yeah, which
honestly.
is crazy.
I can't even say it. Here we go. That my anxiety's going through the roof now. Still fills me with anxiety. Like if I was to read this and there was a challenging word, I would absolutely freeze, because I think someone's literally going to think you're so thick.
And you still feel like that now?
Still feel like that
That's
now.
crazy,
Yeah,
isn't it?
still feel like that now. And it would really, like, I'd be going all red on my chest, and I just feel my brain works completely different. Like I struggle to read a book. However, I'm very savvy and very clever.
Yeah, you are.
And it's
very
only
savvy.
into my 30s that I realised that. But if you was to the certain word, I'd be like, I can't read that. That's too hard. It'd all feel jumbled up, and I'd really struggle. And the biggest, up there with lateness, is when people correct me on spellings.
I fucking hate that.
Oh my god! And there was
on socials. I hate that.
And I'm like,
you called someone out, didn't you?
I called somebody out because I just thought, I think I put something like there, and I spelt it the wrong way. Like it over there instead of it belongs.
I remember
to
who
there.
that was.
I do too. And I just thought, don't do that. You don't know. Like it's so hard. And don't get me wrong, sometimes I do rush and I probably could read it through and realise, but also sometimes it's an actual mistake and that's how my brain thought it was spelt, So
I think that's what keeps you human, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think it's so good to be authentic. It's so good to be yourself. I'm not gonna stand here and be like, I'm so clever, I know how to do this, and because I've got so many flaws, and actually that makes me the better person, because I don't want to be perfect. I really
must be
don't.
so much pressure.
Exhausting.
Yeah.
Absolutely exhausting. No, thank you.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Talking of authenticity. Oh, look at that! I thought I was going to stumble as I said that. That is what I was going to go back to that. That's where it really shot off for you, social media wise. And I know I keep going back to social media, but that's where that's what I was going to say. So it's nearly coming up 2 years, 18 months you've been on your own.
Yeah.
And I remember me and you had a conversation, and there's no bars held of you. I know you won't mind me saying this. We had a conversation and you were like, I'm struggling financially. Like, I've got no financial freedom. It was when you were going to leave Liberty and you were shitting yourself.
Yeah.
And look at you now.
I know.
Holly took us, so we all went out for dinner last year for Holly's birthday, right? And all of us individually were like, for different reasons, we're like, oh, we're not going to come for much food. We're probably not going to drink any alcohol. We're all really skint. And without us even knowing, she didn't even say anything. She just went and got the bill on her own birthday, and then we all felt really guilty. But that isn't why you did it. You did it because you wanted us to all come out for your birthday.
I just felt I was obviously in a great position at that time, and I think actually there's been times where I've struggled and I've needed someone to pay the bill, and I think actually isn't that a nice thing to be able to do that? Like you said, when I was leaving Liberty, we were in financial difficulties, and I think Jen would openly say, that she struggled there, and we weren't getting paid on time. It was like, are we even getting paid £500 this month? And I was struggling, like absolutely struggling. And I thought, I can't continue like this.
Yeah.
And then that's obviously where the social media got like built up. And you touch wood. I need to touch wood. I've never had a bad month since I've left, and in fact, you know, financially, I've saved a lot of money, and I'm in a really great place. And it just goes. I think I've always had the mindset because my mum's always struggled. Like that's the norm.
I'm the same. My mum's always like single. Was your mum single parent?
No, but my dad was in the military and always away. And I think
they kind of are.
Yeah, we've been brought up, haven't we? Of like
with a money lack mindset as well.
And I've completely switched that now.
Yeah.
Like, you know, booking Seville. I'm like, let's get the bougiest hotel. Let's go and do
I wasn't
this.
going to go. And then the girls rang me and they were like, no, why are you not coming? I was like, I can't afford it. I'm 40, like the week before we go. And you girls were like, why can't you come? I can't afford it. And they're like, that's bollocks. Like, don't worry about that. You've booked the flight already. You booked that months ago. So you're coming.
Yeah, and
I'm going.
And I think, you know, like just little things, like just things that I would buy. I'll be like, I'll get that when it's on sale. No, I'll get that because I want it and I deserve it, you know? And I just think, actually, I've worked bloody hard and I'm not going to live in that mindset because, and little things like so as well as doing social media, I used to photograph a kids' clothing brand. I hated it. It was so much work. It was £1,000 a month. I was like, oh, you know, I'll keep that. But it was letting it go. So I let it go. And more work came in for me, and I think it's again another
manifesting's
sign.
Huge,
let things go, and other things will come in place, and that was the best thing. Like the fact that I haven't got to organise any of that anymore.
Yeah, because you used to do. It wasn't just kids' clothing; they did adults as well.
Adults,
and you do.
Honestly.
And also, where would you shoot that now? Because you had the space.
And also we would do it out and about, but it was just so much pressure, and I just don't need that.
I remember sometimes you'd have to ask last minute, like, has anyone got a 6-year-old that's a boy?
It was just honestly so like I hated it, and I'm so glad that I no longer have to do it. And I think now I'm only doing things that I really love, and I think that's what a lovely position to be in.
Do you miss photography on other people? Because you still do the body confidence stuff. That is every day in your Instagram.
And I went to London the other week and photographed Joe Brown's clothing collection, and I did.
Oh, you photographed it?
Yeah, I did.
You're normally the model.
I'm normally the model.
That's
however,
amazing.
They asked me to photograph it, but I wasn't in love. I wasn't in love with photographing, and you know, but maybe because I loved photographing women because of what they gave me.
It wasn't really the photos, was it?
They kind of filled my cup
the growth.
Up. Yeah, and I just love when hearing them feel good about themselves, that filled my cup up. So, but you know, I don't miss it.
No,
I don't. I've got to be. I don't.
Well, you'll have lots of practice in Seville.
I'm not taking the camera.
Oh, fuck's sake, Jen will take us. Yeah. So. Oh, that's throwing me off. Sorry, I just got to stop talking about. I've got to stop talking about Seville. What I was going to say, what I do really like about your page, for me as well, is that I've got saggy tummy. Loads of mums have got saggy. Loads of women, not just mums, women have got saggy tummies. But what I do like is you'll show your saggy tummy, but then you're like, these pants are really good because they're high waisted, and this is because I would never want to show mine. I'd want to hide it, but still feel good in clothes.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the brands you work with and a lot of the styling tips you give is really wearable. Like, you know, you go to Primark all the time and River Island and Joe Brown and Simply Be.
Yeah.
And they're all amazing brands, but you just style it and you show girls and women how to style things. And I think feel confident in clothes.
Do you know what? Being called the body positive mummy is a tough one, because if you show magic pants, people are like, well, how are you body positive? And or you get Botox, how are you body positive? And it is really difficult to actually be yourself, get what you want to have done, and still be like, yeah, I'm body positive. And I just feel like I'm me, and I'm happy with, and it's okay to change certain things.
Yeah.
I still love myself, and I'm still putting myself out there. You know, a year or so, like 2 years, I was a size 14. I'm now a size 10. Am I relatable anymore? All these things, like she's lost weight, so she must not have loved herself. I honestly love myself at a size 14.
Yeah,
I was still done. It doesn't mean because I've lost weight, it doesn't mean like I was never happy. Like I will always show up and be my 100% myself. But also, yeah, I'll wear some magic pants.
Yeah.
Because it's going to give me that bit of confidence.
Yeah.
But also, I'm also okay being naked with my saggy tummy.
Yeah.
And I feel like, you know, I'll wear makeup because sometimes my skin's not
but
great.
Also, you don't wear makeup.
Sometimes I'll just answer the door and be like, hello, good morning. And I just think, like, we all want to put our 2 pence in, don't we? We all want to judge. But actually, I'm here to help people. I'm here to be like, you know, a woman of reason. And I just feel like, stop digging at people all the time, and let's just, like, if you don't want it, unfollow, or just don't like, or, you know, I'm all for people making the best of themselves.
Yeah.
You know?
And do you know what, right? I used to think when you say about someone, oh, she loves herself, I used to think that was a bad thing. And someone said it to me about you once. Can't remember who it was. Someone was like, oh, your friend, they didn't even call you Holly. They were like, your friend, the body positive mum, she's called Holly. She loves herself. I was like, yeah, she does. And good.
And what a
she
lovely
should.
thing. Exactly.
Shouldn't we all love ourselves?
Could you imagine waking up and I guess there are a lot of people probably listening, waking up and thinking, oh my God, I hate myself. I look disgusting. I would much rather wake up, put some music on and be like, yes, I look. And let me tell you something. Do you know what? Last week, I looked at myself and I thought, you look horrendous. I was due on my period and then I woke up today and I thought, Holly, you are so fit.
I mean, you look banging. I did a catwalk video of you on the
Honestly,
balcony.
I am so fit today.
But that's normal as well, isn't it? You are, by the way.
Yeah.
But that's not. She's got the most amazing cow shoes on. Are they cow? And she went upstairs and I was like, oh, I like your shoes. And that's the main thing, innit? Like, as well, I'm not trying any clothes on for Seville until like the week before because I'll have everything ready week before. I'll be like, hate that.
Yeah, of course.
Because it's so normal to feel different around our bodies, around our hormones.
And it's so, like, I have a period app and it's so important to go by that because I'm definitely in the change, basically. My hormones are so bad and my anxiety is through the roof when I'm due on. And it's never, like, I've never really suffered with any of these, but the last 6 months,
heightens it, doesn't
is
it?
horrendous, and I pull myself apart. And I am yes, I'm the body positive mum, but let me tell you, the week before my period, I don't want to see anybody, I want to do anything, and I do not like myself.
Yeah.
But the week after, you are not going to be able to stop me. I am literally going to be flicking
So do
my
you
hair.
schedule, like, now you know that and you're quite on cue?
Yeah, I don't tend to do much content.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I'm really proactive the week after my period. So I try and do, like, if I can do all this content the week after, I will have so much more enthusiasm.
100%, and you've got to work with your body, and I feel like it's so. This is what I think as well. Like 9 to 5 jobs. I know you've got them. God, I feel like
9:30 to 2:30.
There we go. I feel like they're just stupid.
I think for creatives, how can they work?
But I also like I wake up at 7 and I'm so full of beans and I'm ready to work, and I feel like by 2 o'clock I need a little nap. So I feel like they're my little working hours.
And everyone's different, aren't they?
Everyone's different. Where men are very much a 9 to 5. I mean, that's why we still live in that 9 till 5 work, because it's run by bloody men. Sorry, men. But I feel like women, we are so much like, I'm really productive. Like, I will work and work and work and not stop. I won't have a break. I won't have a drink. I'll just fully head down. But then some other people are different. They do 5 minutes work, have a little break, and they're like spread it across the whole day. Where I'm like, do 2 hours non-stop, and then you can have.
I also think we get conditioned by these times when we have children because we're governed by school run.
Yeah.
So 9, but actually 9 till 3.
Yeah.
That's a great little shout.
Yeah.
5 hours, 9:30 to 2:30. Say.
Yeah.
That's like 5 hours.
I
Smash it out.
honestly do an hour before the kids even are up.
Yeah. Oh, isn't that the best time of day?
Yeah, I love that, and I'm so excited for spring, summer to sit in my garden before they wake up, and I can be on my phone for an hour and get organised,
with a
do
hot
all
coffee.
do all my admin,
And then be
work.
present when they wake up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel
I
like
think that's
but
lovely.
The only thing that I would say about COVID has, I think, taught a lot of businesses that they don't have to do the 9 to 5.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that it stayed a bit like that.
Hopefully. I mean, we are 6 years out now.
Bloody
Oh my
hell.
God.
Oh my
Right,
God.
I've got some questions for you.
Oh,
If you were a biscuit,
Ooh.
what biscuit would you be and why?
do you know? Have you had those co-op ones? It's like ginger and
Ginger stem biscuits with the hot chocolate, with the
they're
chocolate.
like the luxury ones.
Yeah.
So
That's what you'd
good.
be. A ginger.
But then I also do like a classic malted milk.
Malted milk. Ed, is that what we were talking about the other day? The malted milk.
Oh, I love that in a coffee. Oh,
Are they dippable?
absolutely dippable.
Oh, I thought they were like
Yeah,
chocolate malted
so
milk.
good. Do you know what? I'm such a biscuit person.
Are you? Is a Jaffa cake a biscuit or a cake?
Cake, 100%.
There you go, Dan. It's a cake.
It's an absolute cake,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's mushy.
It's mushy. And it's
Yeah.
got sponge in it.
Yeah, no, thank you, please.
No, thank you,
Half
please.
moon, full moon.
Get him out my face. I don't feel like this is appropriate for you because I just think there's no airs and graces. But what do you wish was socially acceptable but isn't?
Or probably being naked.
Having sex in public.
Absolutely. Yeah. The thing is, where I record half naked, and then people walking down my street, I kind of have to duck sometimes.
And you can't have a blind or curtain because it's daylight.
Well, I need the light.
You need the light.
So I have like a thin kind of curtain, but then I just think, it's like wearing a bikini. But yeah,
it is like wearing a bikini.
Yeah, just basically.
Same thing.
Why can't I walk down the street with just a bra on? But I do feel bad for the kids in that respect.
Does anyone say anything to the kids? Because obviously Luca's now, year 8?
I've been really lucky with the children, and they've very much been like proud of what I've raised my kids to be like, this is a normal body. I'm not sexualizing it whatsoever, and my kids are actually really proud of me. They and I show them my reels and everything, and they're like, oh, that's really good, mum, X, Y. And I said, what would you do if somebody said, oh, your mum gets half naked on the internet? They'd be like, your mum don't make as much money as my mum. And I was like, oh, you don't need to say that. But
it's true.
I've raised confident kids. And I think if someone did question them, they'd be like, I'm proud of my mum. I don't care what you say.
But that's also so good. I had Joe Morgan on and we were talking about... I thought you were waving at me then. I had Joe Morgan and we were talking about consent and how important it is when you're raising young men to be respectful of girls. And I think that they're so conditioned by the way that women and girls look in porn now that actually raising young men to look at a normal body and cycles and periods are so good.
This is what I love, right? My underwear drawer used to be in the boys' bedroom because I didn't have enough room, and I was going up and like, I just need to get my period pants, and then Luke would have a lot. He'd be like, yeah, go and get your period pants, mum, and I'd make it a thing. Yeah, like, these are my period pants.
But when he gets a girlfriend and she has a period, he's gonna know. He's gonna get it.
Yeah, and I'm so open with those boys. I'm like, oh, I'm on my period. I need my period, and I think, why do we find it like as it's a negative? Like, I just think we need to discuss more, not just with girls, with boys.
Oh, 100%.
It's period week, boys, all right?
Yeah, so what I need is cuddles.
Yeah.
I need to keep your shit
cuddles
clean.
And I need my period pants.
Yeah, absolutely. And I need those chocolate bougie biscuits.
Yeah.
Right, what's something about the influencer industry? Does the word influencer give you the ick?
Yeah. But, what else are
What else are you?
Yeah.
But you are influencing people to be happy about themselves.
Absolutely.
What's something about the influencer industry that people would be shocked to know?
Oh, that's such a good question. I think probably people would be shocked about how much people get paid. In a good, yeah, wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I think people would be shocked. Yeah.
What about something bad?
I think the bad thing is that when you meet people, they're not who they are.
Yeah.
I've met a lot of people and they don't live up to who they are on socials, or they just think they're above everybody. I went to an event and I really looked up to this one person and I was like, oh my God, I love your content. And she's like, And I was just like,
oh, really?
Wow. Fake. We're all on the same, we all do the same job. Just because you might have an extra 600k followers doesn't mean you're any better.
No.
I'm like higher up. I hate that.
Yeah.
If
hierarchy, I hate that.
Honestly, I just
think
think
an ick, innit?
It's a big ick for me. Everybody deserves time and space. I really believe that. Whatever you do in life, whatever job you have, we all deserve to be spoken to in the same way.
Do you know one thing that I found really weird? We were out once. I don't know if you remember, but we were out in Carter and Co. And I think we were celebrating someone's birthday, and we were at the bar, and you were getting the drinks in. And this woman, we were full blown conversation. I think it was quite a serious conversation. And this woman came up. She went, "Oh my God, are you the body positive mum?" And you were like, yeah. And she went, "Oh my God, I love you." Like, no regard whatsoever to our conversation. She just steamrolled through the middle of it. And you went, "Do you want a drink?" She went, "Oh, yes, please." You got her a Cosmo. Do you not remember that?
I can't remember. That's nice of me,
Yeah, very nice of you. You were like, "Oh, thanks. Do you want a drink?" She went, "Yeah." And then she was like yabbering away about how much she loved you. But
again, you just got to give people time, though. I feel like it's so important. I would hate for anybody to think, oh, God, she's so far up her own arse. Like, that's definitely not me. And it's like, one thing I feel bad about is I don't reply to every DM that I get. And I wish
How many do you get? Daily?
Yeah, a lot.
Loads?
Yeah, a lot.
I'll be lucky if I get one.
Yeah, I get quite a lot. But, I can't do it all the time. But then I feel like, oh, do they think I'm ignoring them? Or, but I also think you are a mum. And
you are human.
Yeah, I am human.
Yeah.
But if I could, and I would never want to I don't ever put generic messages back. Do you know? Like, I feel like I try and respond quite.
What's next for you?
I would really love to get into presenting. I really would.
ITV, if you're...
if you're watching.
Wait till Alison Hammond gets cancelled.
Yeah, I love her though.
Oh, I love
I
her.
don't
You wouldn't
want
want her to get cancelled.
No. But I'll tell you who I would, Cat Deeley maybe.
Oh, me too.
I'll
Cat
take-
Deeley and Ben.
Yeah, I'll take over
boring.
Cat Deeley, that's fine.
I'll take over Ben.
Yeah, me and you. Oh,
Can you
take
imagine?
holes.
I'd be like, oh, have we
Yeah.
got any guests today?
We don't need guests.
We don't need guests.
We don't need guests.
Ed could probably make this happen for us.
Yeah, come on,
Make us
Ed.
famous.
Where I'm confident, I love being in front of the camera, and I just feel like I would love to do more. I would love to do more, like, you know, Trini and Suzanne, like go.
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to do a bit more like that.
Yeah. Well, you did a little bit for the app.
Yeah,
That app that launched.
did the Hey Savvy. That
Yeah.
was really good.
That's such a good app.
Yeah, really, really good. I really enjoyed that. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping that, you know, I can do a little bit more like that. And yeah, I think that's it really. Presenting more is the way forward.
Good.
Although I haven't had any jobs in yet for that.
Well, where do they find you if they want to give you a job, offer you a job?
At the Body Positive Mum.
On Instagram.
On Instagram, please.
Lovely. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you so
Thanks
much
for filling a
having
gap.
us. Oh, you're so welcome. I feel so used.
How was your instant coffee? Was it all right?
Absolutely shit.
Business in the boardroom.